Yeah.
So why are so many Catholics leaving the Catholic Church? I mean, I think we've already hinted on a few of the reasons, but why are they leaving and becoming Protestant, other denominations,
what's
religions,
the pull?
or nothing at all?
What's the pull from Protestants and evangelicals? Why are they straying?
Well, let me first bring a little balance to that.
Yeah.
There are some that think there are more Protestants becoming Catholic than the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
At one time, I would say 20 years ago, the traffic was all out of the church towards Protestantism.
Okay.
And we'll get to why in a second. But I think now that the apologetics movement has started and what you guys are doing, and John Paul II and Benedict, the books that are coming out now, it's an embarrassment of all of the great books that we have defending the faith, explaining the faith, and these kind of, like just what we're doing here right now didn't happen 20 years ago.
Right.
The technology wasn't there, but neither was the conversation. So I think that now with what we're doing, there is a big movement of Protestants back to the Catholic Church. And so the traffic is going both ways. And it's an interesting exchange because it's the stupidest and the least educated Catholic that is leaving to become a Protestant. It's the best and the brightest of the Protestants who are becoming Catholic. So I just say, keep the trade going. Keep keep the flow going.
Yeah, keep it
'Cause we're
going.
getting the best of the deal.
I've heard it said this way:
And even-
Protestantism gets weak Catholics, but Catholicism gets strong Protestants.
Absolutely.
Like yourself.
And Protestants and Protestants recognize that also. They recognize that also. There's been a lot of articles. Why are Protestants the good guys going over there? A lot of them would also, but they've built empires because Protestantism basically is every pastor builds his own empire. Every denomination builds, and it's financial and it's power and it's. And you don't want to, it's very difficult to give up your empire to come and blend into this big Catholic Church where you become unnoticed almost. And you don't have that empire, the power, or the money. And now, why do some Catholics leave? I've always contended that a very big percentage of them leave for reasons below the belt. If you know what I mean.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For sexual reasons.
Yeah,
They leave for...
their marriage annulled, or they
want to get married outside the church.
Yes.
They don't agree with the church's teaching on contraceptive and abortion. They find themselves in a sexual wrong situation, and they will many times leave because of that, divorce and remarriage, that kind of thing. Because Protestantism doesn't have any rules against that. They believe in serial polygamy. You can have as many wives as you want, just not all at one time. You can have one this year and one next year, one next year. It's not as long as. So that's one of the reasons. I think another reason is because Protestants are very good at marketing and entertaining, and they're very chatty. In other words, they talk about their faith. Usually someone who's is like that is someone who becomes a Protestant later in life, or who's had some kind of a renewal as a Protestant so that they've become invigorated. And then they're also taught, many of them, not all of them, but many of them, a lot of their sermons, and they're not called homilies, they're called sermons, are against the Catholic Church. And people then are quite willing and ready to attack their Catholic friends and say that you aren't reading the Bible, you don't know the Bible, you don't know how to get saved. And they're right about that. Most Catholics don't have a clue how to get saved. They don't read their Bible. They don't pray. They don't evangelize. They don't show any enthusiasm for the faith. Most Protestants are right in their analysis of Catholics like that. And so they want then to get us saved. They want to get us into the same enthusiastic Christianity that they are in. And so a lot of Catholics will get invited to a Protestant Bible study. And the Protestant Bible study is all the women gather together. They have bagels and coffee, and we love, love, love you. And how are your kids today? Well, Catholics never had anything like that in the Catholic Church. Now there are Bible studies getting started and things, but up until recently, if you wanted to go to a Bible study, you had to go to a Protestant. And most of those are Trojan horses to get you out of the Catholic Church. So there's a lot of reasons why I think people are leaving, but also the Catholic Church, it's not easy to be a Catholic. The Catholic Church makes extraordinary demands upon us, where the Protestant Church doesn't make these extraordinary demands upon the people.
There's accountability.
And exactly. And a lot of times the Protestant Church is just a doorway out of Christianity altogether, because many of those who leave and become Protestant end up leaving Protestantism too.
Altogether.